Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be an interesting one. Today is going to be a story time. And when I talk about a story time, it's going to be a crazy one. We are gonna call these two people Heather and Mike. So one day it was me, my girlfriend, my two brothers, and Heather. I was sitting there on the couch with Heather and she was like, oh yeah, like, did Mike and this chick have sex? And I was like, oh yeah, like, you didn't know about it? Like, I thought you knew. And she was like, what? So you're telling me like they did? And I was like, yeah, like, I thought you knew or whatever. She was like, okay, whatever. So I think this was like on a Friday or Saturday, I don't know, it was the weekend. So then the next day we picked up Heather from work. So she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Mike. And I was like, okay. So she's like, can you like take me to his house so I can talk to him? And I was like, sure, like, I don't have a problem with it, like, okay. So we go and I pull up to Mike's apartment and Heather gets down, and she goes to the window, to his window of his apartment, and then he goes to the door. So then she comes back and she's like, hey, y'all can go park somewhere else. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So then we go park somewhere else, and it's me, my brother, my two brothers, and my girlfriend in the car. So we're sitting there, and then like we see people, so we're like, well, we don't want to park in their spot. So we moved. So when we moved, like, we can see Heather going to Mike's car. So then I send my brothers down from the car and I tell them to go get Heather. Well, they go and I'm on the phone with Heather and I'm like, dude, hurry up, get in the car. Like, what the hell? And she's like, oh yeah, I did that so good. Or I don't know, she's like, that was so perfect, or I don't know, whatever. So then she comes back in the car and she's like, oh yeah, I knifed his car. And I was like, what? You did what? And I was like, oh my god, like, how are you going to do this? He comes and we pick her up again from work. We take her home and she's inside for like 15 to 30 minutes. And I'm like, dude, what is she doing? Like, she's just supposed to get close so she can spend the night. So then she texts me and she's like, there's a big problem. And I'm like, well, what? Like, what's going on? So she comes outside and she's like, Mike knows. And I was like, knows about what? And she's like, knows about your brother's keying his car. And I was like, my brothers? Like, my brothers didn't do it, you did. And she's like, hold on. So then she walks away from my car, and again it's me, my girlfriend, now it's my two sisters. And I'm just like, dude, what the heck? So she gets in my car and she's like, what did she tell him? She was like, well, I don't know, I'll figure something out. She was like, but I'll let her brothers know and see what they say. She was like, but I'll get you the money and I'll make sure that they apologize. And I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? So she gets off the phone and she's just like, yeah, well, he found out, and his family and Mike and his family want an apology, and they want like $2,000, $3,000. And I was like, for what? Like, what do you mean? She was like, well, she knows that they know that your brothers did it. And I was like, my brothers didn't do it though, like, you did it. And she was like, well, they saw two guys get off the car and do it, so they want your brothers to apologize. And I was like, but again, my brothers didn't do it. Like, how are you gonna sit there and tell me that my brothers did it when it was you? And I was like, dude, no, like, this was you. So I was just like, okay, whatever, we're gonna go back to my dad's house, we're gonna talk to my brothers about it. And I was like, dude, I was flipping shit. Like, I was like, what do you mean? Like, my brothers are freaking 15 and 14 years old. Like, how are you gonna sit there and try to blame them? So then we go back to my dad's house and I tell them to come in the car. So we're there and we're like, okay, well, you know, Mike's parents think it's y'all, Heather's gonna give y'all the money, and they just want the money and for you to apologize. And they're like, okay, sure, like, whatever, like, if that's all that's gonna be, like, that's fine, we can just do that. So then we go to the gas station and Heather pulls out, I think it's like $100, maybe $200 or whatever. I don't know how much it was. So she's like, okay, well, we can give it to them now, and then when I get paid next week, like, we can give them more money and whatever. So we were gonna work something out with them. So we get the money And we're like, okay, well, we can meet up with you so my brothers can apologize, even though they didn't do anything. My brother was like, if it's gonna save us the trouble, then we're gonna do it. So we showed up at their house, and when we showed up at their house, now they want $3,000 from my brothers, and they want an apology. So we're like, dude, what the heck? Like, you just went from, or it was like 1,500, or I don't even know how much it was, but it was a lot. Oh no, it was 200. Yeah, it was 200. All they wanted was 200, and now they want, I think it was like 3,000, because before they were just gonna fix the knife, like the knifing in the car, and now they want to do like a whole paint job and everything. So my brother, he has the money in his hand and he gets down, and we send my older brother, because we're like, okay, well, it's gonna be Mike and his dad and my older brother, so if anything happens, it's my older brother, like not my younger brother. So my older brother, he gets down, my older brother, he gets down off the car and he goes up to the, like, to the front of my car, and they're like, we'll meet you there. Well, then they change their mind and they're like, no, he has to come to the front, like to the front door. So we're like, dude, what the heck? Like, what are you trying to do to my brother? So my brother says that when he goes up to the door, that it's Mike, my brother, and Mike's dad. And we're like, okay, so what happened? So my brother starts telling him that he's sorry and that he has the money or whatever. Well, he said that Mike's dad had like a knife behind his hand, or had something behind his hand, and they started going in on him. So it was like Mike and his dad were like cornering my brother. So my brother was like, dude, it wasn't even me, like it was Heather. So they're like, okay, we'll call Heather to the front door. So then they call Heather or whatever. So then Heather goes to the front door, and Mike's dad's like, okay, Heather, who did it? And she's like, just looks at my brother and she's like, he did. And we're like, really? Like, how could you possibly do that to my brother? So then they send my brother back to the car, and like my brother's telling all of us, this. And in the car, it's me, my girlfriend, my little brother, and then it was Heather and him. So Heather's still at the front door and my brother comes back. So then it's all of us and he's telling us. But the next thing you notice is like, this is the apartment. From this side of the apartment, like the front door, I see it's Mike's dad and Heather, and then on this side it's Mike's mom and Mike. So we're like, dude, what the heck? Well, the next thing you notice, I see Mike take a picture of my license plate, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you taking a picture of my license plate? I didn't do it. Like, what do you think? So then Mike's dad gets in my face and he's like, you're an accessory, or you were here and you knew what she was doing. And I was like, no, I didn't know what she was doing. Like, she told me she was gonna go talk to him. She didn't tell me anything else. I was like, well, technically, I didn't know what she was doing. I was like, she wanted me to bring him here so she can bring her here so she can talk to him. I was like, that's all I knew. I was like, so how are you gonna say that me and my brothers knew what she was doing when we really didn't? I was like, that makes no sense at all. And he was like, well, we have to take your license plates, and we know your brother has a record. And I was like, what? Like, how do you know that? And the only person that knew that was Heather. And there's no way, like, they're not cops. They nothing. And like, they magically knew that. So then he's like, yeah, your last name is Barboza, right? And I was just like, how do you know that too? The only one that could have said something was Heather. And I was just like, yeah. And he was just like, well, I'll come after you. He was like, and you better watch out, watch your back. He was like, I'll come after you. And he was like, and if I don't get my money, I'm coming after you and your family. And no. Mind you, Mike's family drugs, like, they deal drugs. They've been to prison. They've everything. So I'm just like, dude, like, you're trying to say that my best friend Heather is gonna get me in the mix of something that I didn't do with the drug dealers that could literally kill me and my family? So I was like, okay, hold up. I was like, we didn't do anything. I was like, so you're gonna take pictures of my license plate because of nothing? I was like, I brought her here to talk to him, and I was like, that was it. I was like, I didn't know what she was gonna do, what she was planning to doing. She's like, yes, he did, yes, you did. And I was like, no, I didn't. Like, you told me here so you told me to bring you here so you can talk to him, and that was it. You didn't tell me that you were gonna do anything else. And she was like still in the background. So my girlfriend was like, dude, shut up. Like, just shut up. So then he was like, well, I think it was like $3,000 by the end of the 2 weeks, and if I don't get it, I'm coming after you and your family, and yada yada yada. And I was just like, no, like, this isn't gonna work. So I was just like, you know what, okay, like, we're leaving. So we left. So I told her to get her stuff, because that night she was supposed to spend the night. I told her to get her stuff from my dad's house, and I was taking her home. So then on the way home, like, to her house, she was just like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean to do this. No, you did mean to do this. You did this intentionally, and that's the way it is. You can't tell me that you didn't mean to do it. I was so livid. So then I dropped her off at home. I didn't talk to her. I texted her literally every single week asking her if she paid the money. She would read my text messages, not text me back. She would read my tweets, read everything, like my Snapchat, my Twitter, my Facebook, everything. And she would not message me back. So then I spent the night at my friend's house, and I had her call her. I had her call Heather. So then she called Heather, and Heather basically told her what happened. But what she told her was completely different of what really happened. She didn't tell the truth. So then in the end of that, my friend was like, okay, well, Heather, like, who's paying money or whatever? Like, they just want to know. And Heather's like, well, it's none of their business. Like, they don't need to know. And I'm just like, what do you mean it's none of our business? Like, we could possibly be going to jail because of you. Because what Mike's dad said is that if we don't give them money, then he's turning our names into the police, and he's gonna make it a crime. So basically, me, my girlfriend, my two brothers, and Heather, we're gonna go to jail because of her mistake. So I was just like, you know what, whatever, it's not our business, so I'm gonna take it up and I'm gonna message Mike. So I messaged Mike on Snapchat, and I was like, hey, I was like, Heather's not giving me any information. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if she's paid. I don't know what she's doing. I was like, but someone needs to tell me something. I was like, because I'm not about to go down for something that I didn't do. And he was like, nah, you don't have to worry about it. Like, we have it all figured out with Heather. Like, you have nothing to worry about. And ever since then, I haven't heard anything. We've been fine. I haven't talked to Heather. I haven't talked to Mike. I haven't gone, nothing. I had no communication with them since our last text messages, and I don't plan to have any communication with them. But like, the messed up part is that Heather was supposed to be my best friend. Like, me and her were like this. I let her into my house. I let her sleep in my house. Whenever her and her dad fought, I let her into my house. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be the good best friend. I bought her food. I paid everything. She never gave me gas. She never bought me food. Nothing. I did everything for her. And for her to do that to me was just like, I was done. Like, I was beyond done. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this with you. Yeah, that's basically my crazy story about how the time that me and my family and my girlfriend almost went to jail. So yeah, but that's pretty much it. I know I didn't put up a video yesterday, but I'm going to put up a video today, and I know it's late. I'm sorry. Friday, which is tomorrow, because today's Thursday, I am going to have a vlog up. But it's not going to be a vlog, it's going to be a montage, and it's going to be basically, because I'm going to Florida, so it's going to be basically from me filming from Sinton, Texas, all the way to Florida. And I'm so excited, so I'm looking forward to that. So that will be up tomorrow. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Leave comments down below on what y'all want to see next. I'll see you on my next video. Bye guys.